Welcome to Sibos 2018. I am Dez Blanchfield, and we are here at the International Convention Centre in Darling Harbour in Sydney, Australia. And I have the pleasure of being joined by Adam Gable. Hi, Adam. How are you?
Very good, Des. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, before we jump into the conversation, I want to have you with around what's happening in the last couple of days at Sibos 2018. Could you just briefly introduce yourself and your role with Temenos?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Adam Gable. I'm a product director at Temenos. I'm looking after ostensibly risk products, so financial crime, Treasury, financial risk management.
Perfect. Now, your pavilion's been humming for the last couple of days. I mean, Sibos has been an exciting event here in 2018, but every time I come up to your pavilion here, it's been shoulder to shoulder, humans asking questions. Really keen to get some insight on kind of what people have been asking about. What are some of the challenges they're facing? Where does Temenos' platform help them address that? What are the big themes that have come out of this year in particular in your mind that you've been talking to people about?
Yeah, I think the conversations have been broad. I think there's lots of things on people's lips, and some traditional, some new.
Right.
I think open banking is very ripe at the moment. I think it's fair to say that Europe has been pioneering the way with PSD2.
Right.
And CMA in the UK has gone a bit further, more products and services that can be offered through open banking channels.
Yep.
Now Hong Kong are looking to deploy first phase APIs early next year. Here in Australia, they're looking at July 2019 to start open banking.
It's not far away.
It's not far away, and with that in mind, it's not just prudent to look at what's happening elsewhere. It almost becomes essential. It's taken the EU kind of 3 years to mobilise themselves from open banking.
It's almost like a Y2K for banking all over again, isn't it? Because it's going to happen.
It almost is.
It's not even a case of if it happens, it's when it happens.
Yeah.
For folk who, open banking is a very broad topic, and even people I speak to, particularly this week, who thought they knew what open banking was, maybe just give us a quick summary on what open banking means in the context of what Temenos does and what the customers you're talking to are looking to achieve with that.
Yeah. So open banking is changing the value chain quite dramatically.
Right.
Okay? The general premise of open banking is to offer more convenience to consumers using technology, improve competition. That changes the value chain. From my perspective, and more players, more participants, AISPs, PSPs, all these TPPs.
Bit of a leveling the field in many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. Is it an opportunity for banks? Is it an opportunity for fintechs? I think it's probably an opportunity for both.
Probably scares them both, but then they're also excited about what is over the horizon.
Yeah. I think it's an opportunity for consumers.
Fantastic. And let's face it, when I talk to most of the banks that we work with, the thing that I keep coming across is that they're less being disrupted by their competitors and more disrupted by their consumers.
Yeah,
people are asking
because
for better
this
services.
is a recurring theme here, right? Consumers are getting used to convenience in their personal life and they're expecting their financial life.
And they're running around with smartphones.
And a conversation we often get involved in as kind of core banking providers is to deliver that front end great convenience, great experience. And it's difficult. You need good core banking products at the back to manage that.
Absolutely.
The data, the aggregation of functionality and services. One of the things I was going to say in the conversation that I've been getting into in terms of that open banking and more participants, it's a given that it introduces new fraud risks. And so a lot of the conversations about what that means, looking at some of the reg that's coming out of Europe, that sets the bar. It's a good benchmark.
Right.
But what it mandates essentially is that banks need to do some transaction monitoring, kind of full anti-fraud systems that they might not have had before. And a lot of conversations around that. And one of the lessons as well is actually the better you do that risk assessment, it's quite complex, it's in real time because open banking demands real time, the better convenience you can deliver to your customer.
Well, I think when banks traditionally talk about this space, we sort of we all hear about anti-money laundering from an operational point of view, onboarding with Know Your Client KYC. People have been trying to figure out how to do that across border and inter-country. There's a lot of talk about what blockchain can and can't do. But from a risk perspective, what does the risk profile of this space look like in your mind? It's a big question, but are we heading in an area that we're ready to deal with? Temenos obviously has a platform that's ready for that. Is the industry as a whole ready for it? Or are we still there's a little bit of growing up to do to get our heads around these concepts and where risk is going to flow cross-border, inter-country for some of these new innovations we're seeing come out?
That's a great question. I think open banking definitively, as I just said, gives rise to more risk. I think, one of the lessons from Europe, there's 28 member states to manage. The standards, the regulatory technical standards that the European Banking Association have come up with are kind of set the bar, if you like, in terms of, pre-open banking. Banks, it was down to the banks themselves to manage risk, or certainly fraud risk, in their own way, and given how much loss they want to take, or how much reputational damage,
how much investment they want to make,
how much reputational damage they want to risk. In fact, these regulatory technical standards set a bar. There's a set of standards that are mandatory for anyone participating in open banking world. I proffer that is a positive, right? And I like the fact that actually the better you do it, the more convenience you can drive to the customer, because I think that's going to be incentive to kind of better, mitigate these risks.
It's an interesting time for us.
Yeah, definitely. And I think give it that as well as kind of new tech that can deliver on these business problems. I won't use AI. I think AI and machine learning have become kind of a bit interchangeable.
They're a little bit blurry, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a bit blurry, and I'd much rather talk about machine learning or robotic process automation. But they're both technologies or techniques, if you like, that can deliver on this business problem. Drive a better user experience, enhance detection, improve operational efficiencies, drive down costs.
One of the things I heard your team talk about through the last couple of days here at Sibos 2018 on those things was, to that point that you just made, and that is that it is easy for things to become blurry with the media hype and so forth, but often people brought them back to what's the outcome you're looking for, what are you trying to achieve, and where can we apply it? So if it's forms processing, we can use machine learning. If it's, whatever it might be, security, we can develop models to track that. It seems to me that the Temenos platform, and I think T24 is the current revision, it's easy to build into that ecosystem additional capabilities, whether it's from yourselves or third parties in the banks. Is that a fair thing to say? That it's an open platform, it's extensible, it's relatively easy to drive that digital to the core piece out to the end user?
Yeah, it's absolutely a fair thing to say.
Okay.
One of the things we recognise is that, I use the term AI, but assume that's a collective of technologies and techniques. One of the things we recognise is that AI is relevant across the banking kind of landscape. There are solutions that can apply to different parts of the banking kind of value chain and different point solutions. It would be remiss of me not to mention our press release this week where we've kind of ramped up our investment in AI. We've launched our AI Centre.
I did see that. I was keen to get some insight onto that. So tell us the background behind that and kind of what you've eventually announced for folk who may not have already seen the press release.
Yeah. The background is pretty much as I just said. It's about the fact that we recognise that AI is a capability that's very relevant in banking per se, and can deliver on solving business problems. Really, the announcement is just essentially about us ramping up our investment, about us building and working with partners to build AI solutions, and really ramping up our expertise in this area.
That's good. For me, it almost kind of just put a rubber stamp, if you like, or a stake in the ground saying, we are doing this now. When people thought we were doing it, now let's make it really clear. We're on board, we're making an investment, this is the path we're going down, and we see the value proposition.
Yeah, I think that. I think if nothing else, it's certainly something we've been investing in, but it's an acknowledgement that we're doing more.
That's exciting.
From an outsider's perspective, you can see it as a rubber stamp, if you like.
That's good. There's a lot of talk about things, but when people put out a press release saying we are definitely doing it, removes all possible doubt, and then get on with having a conversation about it.
Exactly.
Well, Adam, it's been an absolute honour and privilege to spend a couple of days on your stand here with the team at Temenos and to get to know you. Really appreciate your insights into what you've gleaned for the last couple of days from this exciting industry, and look forward to seeing some of the new things and innovations coming out of the team and yourself over the next year or so.
Okay, my pleasure, and thanks very much for having me.
And folks, we'll wrap up with that. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Dez Blanchfield, and again, we are here at Sibos 2018. I've had the pleasure of spending a couple of days with the team at Temenos on their pavilion, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us.